All right, it looks like that our graphics is gone. So this is our regular scheduled council meeting, August the 27th, 2020. I have the time as 7:06 for call to order of the meeting. Usually Jerry has the flag behind him. However, he didn't bring it in, so it's still wet. So we'll just go ahead and recite the Pledge of Allegiance all together. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I pledge allegiance to the flag to the United States of
United
America
States of America,
and to the republic
to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and
with
justice
liberty
for all.
and justice.
Thank you. Father God, right now, we just want to pause and say thank you for allowing us to come out and do the work of the village of Woodlawn. Right now, it is not our personal opinion and it is not our personal satisfaction, but yet it is for the betterment of the village of Woodlawn. We ask that the decisions that are made are concrete decisions and it again is for the betterment of the village. We ask in these blessings, amen. Roll call, please.
Mayor Poole,
Present.
Rosemary Brown,
Present.
Kiana Tribune,
Present.
Esther Boyd,
Present.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Present.
Robert Lawson,
Present.
Garrick Burkhalter.
Present.
All right. If we could all just be so kind enough to silence our phone on the call tonight. All right. So that being said, the next piece of the agenda tonight is the approval of the regular council meeting scheduled back on September the 29th, 2020. Are there any corrections, deletions, or additions to those minutes in front of you tonight? Having none, I need a motion to approve the minutes in front of you from September the 29th, 2020.
I'll make a motion for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting on September 29th, 2020.
Second.
Very well, all ayes.
Aye.
Aye.
There are no nays. Thank you very well. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the special council meeting on October the 5th, 2020. If there are no deletions, additions, or a correction to those meetings, I ask for an approval.
I'll make a motion for approval of the minutes from the special council meeting on October 5th, 2020.
Second.
All ayes.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Okay. I don't believe that we have any appointments or confirmations. Is that correct? Can
That's
everybody
correct.
hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, very well. All right. Are there any petitions or comments from the public, clerk?
Yes, Mayor, we have Ms. Moore, Christina
Okay.
Ruffin Moore,
Okay,
and I sent you all council members and Mr. Thaman an email.
correct.
Does anybody have it or do you want me to read it?
I like that for that to be shared on the public floor. Can you share that, clerk?
Yes, sir. Okay. As president of Woodview Homeowners Association, we thank you for your responsiveness to 4 of our concerns and for the great staff you have in Woodlawn. 1, I woke up this morning to the pleasant sound of busy construction trucks on Chester Road. It seems that the village is repaving Chester Road. We are ecstatic because we have been pleading for improvements to the main thoroughfare for a long time. Repairing Chester Road adds to the visual enhancement of the village. It makes our drive home safer because we are not hitting potholes and it shows our taxpayer dollars at work. Thank you for getting back to us and making the necessary improvements. Number 2, we were extremely proud of the mayor and our neighbors who showed up at Cincinnati City Hall last month to express concern over the noise from the city-owned firing range in Avondale. We consider it a major step in the right direction for the safety of our neighborhood and the health of children in our neighborhood who have to deal with the loud barrage of noise from the firing range. We stand with you and the University of Cincinnati, along with many other groups, in making sure that these constant gunshots do not affect the children of this community. The shots were so loud last month that it would be heard at Woodlawn Elementary School, more than half a mile away. Thank you. Number 3, thank you for posting the position of village manager. We hope that you still want the position to be held by a permanent employee. It has been an interim position for a long time. We are concerned with the continuity of management and the need to ensure that the village is managed by an employee who will be here for the long haul. We have not seen this posting yet. We are happy that you started at a previous board meeting that it would be posted in October. Number 4, you may never know how refreshing and proud we were to see signs recognizing Woodlawn's police, fire, and public service departments. Those signs are everywhere. Thank you for allowing those signs to be posted throughout the village. And finally, while reading the September-October online edition of the Cincinnati Bar Association magazine, Woodlawn Police Chief Aaron Tillman was quoted in an article on racial justice. He stated in the article that cultural awareness and implicit bias training for the legal community will go a long way when it comes to earning credibility in segments of the Latino and African American communities. It was so good to learn that Chief Tillman is a member of the Hamilton County Association of Chiefs of Police. Kudos to the Village of Woodlawn. Thank you for your time and dedication to the people of Woodlawn. Gina Ruffin-Moore, President, Woodlawn Homeowners Association, and a member of the Princeton Board of Education.
Thank you, Clerk. I appreciate that. All right. All right. Looks like we, our next agenda on the next item on the agenda, excuse me, is the Committee of the Whole. Ms. Fitzgerald, can we have just a brief overview of that meeting, please, on the 14th?
Yes, the finance, I'm sorry, I got finance, I jumped the gun, I have both of those. The Committee of the Whole meeting took place on October 14th at 7 p.m. Members present was Kiana Trabune, Robert Lawson, Rosemary Brown, Esther Boyd, Mayor Poole, and Garrett Burkhalter. Agenda items, we discussed, there was a recreation update by Mr. Fuller and included winter basketball for grades 2 through 6 and will begin the week of October 26th. Registration, there's still open spots. The fees for residents was $60 and $75 for non-residents. Also included in his agenda was the trunk or treat event that's coming up this week on Halloween at the Recreation Center parking lot from 5 to 7. Date is October 31st. Volunteers are still needed to pass out candy. And this was as of October 14th. So you have to check with the rec center to see if that's still going on as far as volunteers needed. The event is being advertised on the marquee, the website, and robocall. The status, we also talked about the status of the recreation director hiring process. Mr. Thalman will be scheduling interviews. Waverly update. There's a housing project by the developer Chris Smith. He stated that the property will need to be taken out of the flood zone. There was questions raised regarding the appraisal of the property, and we're going to need to have to check with Dan Ferguson on that. So that's we're still in the works with that. The MOU for Great Parks, the memorandum of understanding for Great Parks to do the work on the property of the shared use trail at Glen Crossing. And the committee had no concerns about that, and that's coming up in legislation. COVID-19 grant money, we discussed these funds how it could be best utilized in the departments, and it must be COVID related for us to claim that. Raises and retention, that'll be discussed tonight. And we actually discussed it, but legislation is coming up tonight about that. Police staffing, we discussed, and mayor's clerk. It was determined that Mayor Poole, Mr. Thalman, and Chief Tillman will be in discussion about that position. And then there was a public works update from Mr. Brown. He discussed Riddle Road completion, Jones Alley completion, Shady Lane. And as mentioned before, Chester Road, the south side, we're doing that process. We're doing that project right now. The pre-construction meeting has already happened, so it's just in progress. We also discussed fire hydrant agreement. and they will be working on the fire hydrant. So we talked about that a little bit. We talked about 195 Grove Road stormwater project that was completed, and that was pretty much the details of Mr. Brown's Public Works report. In new business, Mayor Poole stated that there have been great strides regarding the shooting range. There was a hearing with City Hall a couple weeks ago, and he believes there will be a favorable decision to relocate the shooting range. And that concludes pretty much the details of the CAL meeting that took place on October 14, 2020.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Fitzgerald in terms of the CAL meeting? All right. Having none, Ms. Fitzgerald, you got another report to report on finance?
I do.
All right.
Second report to report on is the Finance Committee meeting that took place October 19, 2020. Members present was Esther Boyd, Kiana Tribune, also Mr. Mayor, Rosemary Brown, Robert Lawson, Tim Engel, Charles Willis, and Anthony Brown. This meeting started with our normal income tax update. Mr. Willis provided revenue reports for 2019 and 2020, along with the road collection report from January 2019 to 2020. The report from that month, September 2020, the collection amount was $456,335 for the month. From the finance update from our Director of Finance, Mr. Engel, he discussed the appropriations and revenue report. As of September 30th, 2020, the village has collected 73% of budgeted revenues and expended 56% of appropriations. Receipts and expense reports for the month of September, the village collected $1,013,351.77, and we dispersed over $413,424. Our general fund receipts are lower than the total receipts for the village, where the village has collected 66% of the total funds receipts. He also talked about the bank reconciliations that he includes in our packets with the month ending September 30th, 2020. He discussed negative fund balances. Since being identified in May, the village has eliminated a total of $190,000 in negative fund balances. He discussed monthly expense reports and payment listings and our overtime report. The village spent $10,740 in overtime for the month of September. We've also spent a total of $127,997 for a total overtime for the year, and that's between police and fire. The recreation income versus receipts, the expenditures exceeded the income in the general fund by $198,000. We also had the food program is up by a total of $1,866, and the pool levy difference is $132,988.31 when you look at the recreation income versus receipts. Also, there's several things that are beyond legislation. I won't go into all the details because that'll be coming up during legislation, but there was several things that our Director of Finance will need approval for legislation approval, expenditures over $10,000, and there's different funds that he needs to transfer money in, so that'll come through legislation. Also, we discussed a salary ordinance, which we'll be discussing a little bit later in legislation as well. And other legislation items, that's a tongue twister, to be discussed later during the council meeting. We also talked about new business. The finance director will be working on 2021 budgets and departmental heads. The goal is to have that to us by the 27th, and I believe that was in our packet today. The finance director has reached out to Greater Cincinnati Water Works to inquire about implanting a fire hydrant fee to be added to village water bills. The Greater Water Works has informed us that they do have the ability to collect and remit a fee of this kind to the village. Council may wish to discuss adding $1 to each water bill for the purpose of maintaining village fire hydrants. And the meeting was adjourned at 8:27. And that concludes my Finance Committee report for October 19, 2020.
All right. I don't have any questions, just for the public. You talked about the collection of income tax in terms of how it pertains to the streets, just so the public is aware. Those funds are at great work. And currently, yes, Chester Road is, the project has begun today. So excited about that. So very, very excited about us spending the money in which we say we're going to do and do it. So I think the community is excited to see that. So I just really wanted to point that out in your report. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you.
Law Committee, Mr. Burkhalter.
Yes, the Law Committee met on October 21st at 7 p.m. I'll try to be brief. There was lengthy legislation that we went through that will be coming before us tonight, so I won't go through that because you'll hear it for vote tonight. Dan Ferguson with HCDC, Hamilton County Development, spoke about the commercial CRA for MVAH Partners that's developing a housing unit complex at the top of Wayne. He stated that they requested a 75% abatement for 15 years. After our village manager and Dan spoke, they agreed on a 50% abatement for 10 years. The project is a $6.3 million housing unit development that should be completed by the end of next year. This project will create 2 part-time jobs and has received funding from the county. The school board has been notified, Princeton and Great Oaks. Other than the legislation, the other conversations, there was some concern. The mayor brought up some concern about the traffic jam that the drive-through at Dairy Queen on Springfield Pike has been causing. We're going to look into that further. Ms. Treview is looking at tobacco use in the village. We already have tobacco use ordinance in the village, but we're looking into that further to further push that issue. And also our clerk of council informed us that the Code of Ordinance have been updated for 2019, but we'll need to start the 2020 in the next couple of months. And that was it for law.
Any questions for Mr. Burkhalter in law? All right, thank you, Mr. Burkhalter. Appreciate that. Having none, municipal managers report.
Thank you, Mayor. A lot of the items that I had were covered in both the committee of the whole as well as the finance and law committee, but a few things I would like to add is one, the municipal road fund application. We are again applying for Lee Crest Drive for the entire length in the village. We increased our participation amount to 50% of the estimated project so that our project will score better. And also we asked Springfield Township for a letter of support regarding that so that we can finally get scored high enough and hopefully get funding to get Lee Crest completed. Another road project is the SKIP application, State Capital Improvement Program. Those are due November the 6th, which is next Friday. And we are going to apply for Retina Terrace. It's a street in our industrial area that's in horrible shape. And we need to make sure we keep the continuity of our businesses in town here because they're the backbone of our income tax. And we're looking at doing that. And this is a concrete street and it needs a total reconstruction. The estimated cost is roughly going to be around $900,000. We are looking at doing a potentially up to a 50% match, and then look at other funding sources such as through SKIP with both a grant and the loan to get to the $900,000. We will also have the CDBG 3-year cycle coming up here in November. We don't have to have a public hearing this year, nor legislation. So all we have to do is post a public notice for a minimum of 5 days and submit our application. One thought is to look at a small amount for that Retina Terrace to go toward the village's commitment to that project so we can get it funded through the SKIP grant. It's a heavy hit, but Mr. Engel and I have talked about this with some of the debt coming off the books. If we do get a loan from the state through this SKIP program, if we get a $250,000 loan, we're looking at 20 years, we're looking less than $25,000 a year to go ahead and get that done. Would be a minimal impact on the budget, but that street needs to be done. One other thing, the bid openings last week, a little disappointing to say that we received no bids for the pool improvement project. We had 2 contractors that were telling me they were very interested in bidding on the project, and no one did. A third one, which I found it is a Woodlawn business, picked up specifications, met with them at the pool, went through the specifications, and said he was interested in entertaining the idea of submitting a bid, and they did not either. I'm going to work with this local company to help hopefully improve our specifications, eliminate any ambiguities regarding the application, regarding the specifications, so there's more of a level of comfort from these contractors, and hopefully get it bid out here and have results before our November meeting. We're on a short timeline here, but we're trying to work on that, and I'm meeting with the gentleman Thursday regarding the specifications and try to get that bid back out. And the final thing is November 3rd, the election day, we use the rec center as a polling place, expecting a large turnout of voters. The Board of Elections has committed, they said, 8 workers to the polling place that day. And I hope they follow through with that. I've been working with John Fuller, and John's been talking with the Board of Elections so that they can coordinate how they can best handle the line of people on election day, and also stay the social distancing. Interesting, John told me that the Board of Elections said we can't take anyone's temperature because it's an individual's right, as well as a mask. But I voted last Friday down at the Board of Elections, and everyone had a mask on. They had notices on the door. So we're going to require the mask unless someone tells me otherwise. We're going to continue to tell everybody to have a mask on when they show up at the pool. Once they enter our building, have the mask on, and then they can take it off when they leave the building, and they're safely social distance from others. So that is all I have for right now, unless there's any questions.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. All right. All right, Ms. Rosemary, I see your hand up.
Yeah. Regarding the mask situation, is there any possible way we can purchase masks for those people that may not have masks? We should be able to get that from money from COVID.
Yeah, we have talked about that. We have
And have them there for November the 3rd.
I mean,
I hate to have to
that's a
turn
week
people
away.
away. Yeah, I hate to turn people away because they don't have a mask.
No,
excuse me,
Rosemary, we're not turning them away. That's not what's being said. We're not turning them away. That's their right. You can't turn them away. We're promoting that they do wear the mask.
I just want to make sure that.
No, we cannot turn them away. That's your right.
I can.
We're just asking that we are safe in our building. That's what we're saying.
Right. So
Right.
will we have masks there for those that do not have masks if they choose to ask for one?
Well, my question would be, is it somebody at the rec center who is going to be the mask patrol there for the sake of passing out masks? I'm just saying, are we adding a responsibility to our staff when people should know to come into the polling place safe? As Jerry said, I voted at the Board of Elections as well. Masks were not being provided, but yet the masks were being worn at that location. So
The
I'm just
sign
saying,
was
are we
there, you
taking
must-
the-
Yeah, the sign was there, you must have a mask to enter. Are you
Right.
saying that you're gonna have a sign saying that you must have a mask to enter?
that is what he has said that he is going to have on that door, correct?
Okay, so if he's gonna have that on the door, can we have a bucket with, or a box or something that has masks in them? Nobody has to pass them out.
I don't see that there's an issue. I don't see that being an issue. The issue is, can we get them back before Election Day, which is Tuesday?
I think
Today
you
is
can.
Tuesday.
You
Can we
should
let
be
the
able
village
to.
manager speak, please? Can we let the village manager speak, who's had his hand up to address several of these questions? Please.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Thank you. Regarding the mask issue, since we closed our rec center and since we opened it back up, we've had a sign on that building that you're required to wear a mask, just like entering our building at the municipal building. We'll continue to have that. The Board of Elections is bringing out ample supplies, disinfectants, wipes. They're supposed to be bringing masks as well. But if in the event they don't, I've talked to Mr. Fuller. We have a very efficient supply of masks at the community center that we will have on standby. We will use what the Board of Elections brings first. If we have to dig into our supply, we will do so.
Okay,
That was my question as,
yeah,
That was my question too, but I have another question.
yeah, we don't have to pass them out ourselves. They can be there for them to pick up when they come in.
thank you,
Yes, Ms.
Rosemary.
Boyd. Ms. Boyd, did you have a question?
That was my question as well. My suggestion as Rosemary's, that
Okay.
we provide masks. I was willing to donate some and we
Okay.
needed them. I
I
got
appreciate
about
it.
500.
Thank you. Pam?
Yes, there, you mentioned about there was no bids on the pool. So what's the next steps?
We're going to have to rebid the project out. And like I said, we're hoping to be able to get this bid out in the next week or so that we can have contractors submit bids so we can come to the regular council meeting in November for the bid results and hopefully awarding a contract. If not, we're probably looking at a special meeting in early December to do that. I do want to get this under contract before the middle of December. The one gentleman told me it could take up to 6 weeks to get for those contractors to obtain their permits from the Ohio Department of Health for all the pool requirements. So we're going to rebid it. Hopefully we'll have some contractors bidding on it. To my surprise, the one contractor told me we were looking at roughly a $200,000, maybe the $225,000 price tag on this. He was telling me that we might be looking closer to a $300,000 project for everything we want done. So goal is to still bid it out, see where our bids come in, and then we'll turn it over to council and let council make a decision how we're going to move forward on those bids.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say, weren't we, because we were talking about what, 140 or 150,000, so we've almost, now the bids now are almost double that, a little less than double that. Okay.
We were talking about roughly $140,000 just for the splash park, the water park area.
Right.
Have all the concrete work to do, which is the pool decking, and we also have the pool painting of both the regular pool and the baby pool.
So in that case, the first estimate was definitely way off if it's double.
Well, we were close. Like I said, we were at $200,000 or a little over on our estimate for all three aspects of the project. But the one company told me, based on his experience and what he's saying is if he submits a bid, it's going to be closer to $300,000.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'll become priority because I know that the public has been waiting on an answer for this for a while. So thanks, Jerry.
Like I said, we're gonna bid it out. Again, we'll get the bid results. We'll present the results back to council and recommendation from the administration. Either move forward or not. But yes, I know the community wants to see the pool improvements, and that's our goal.
Very well. Good stuff. Okay. All
Hey,
right.
Mayor. Mayor,
I
this is
heard-
Mayor,
Bobby?
Mr. Lawson. Yeah,
Yes.
just a quick question. I was trying to get in, but I couldn't get my phone off mute. My internet is down a little bit. It's going to be fixed tomorrow. But just a quick question going back to the mask. Do you remember when it was probably about a month ago when I don't know what group it was, but they came to Woodlawn and they provided masks for the businesses and stuff. Is there any way that maybe somebody could contact them to get them to come out since our levels are so high now? To see if they can come back out to maybe provide free masks here?
I think I know who you're responding to or recalling about. That was the Urban League of Cincinnati, where they were doing kind of like an outreach. That was kind of like a one-time thing with them.
Okay.
For that. In terms of COVID numbers, that is a county-wide thing. So I know that Kiana could probably talk heavily on that. But in terms of that group coming out just to service Woodlawn, because of the numbers, I don't see that happening. Again, that was kind of like a one-time deal.
Yeah, that was a great deal too. That was a great.
It was just something that some money that they received, and that's what they did with it. So we just kind of got in on it.
Okay, that was my only question. Go ahead.
No problem. No problem. Kiana, would you like to just kind of real quickly address that?
I was just going to say, as far as the masks are concerned, we can order masks from Amazon and get them relatively quickly. If we wanted to, number one, to Ms. Brown's point, if we wanted to provide masks on election day, and then to Mr. Lawson's point, if we wanted to do to give out masks ourselves for our residents, we could organize that ourselves at a relatively low price.
Okay, we can have that discussion.
Yeah.
At some point. Yes. Okay. Very well. All right. Finance Director's report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shut off my video. There we go. Has a couple more things. Obviously, Ms. Fitzgerald presented her Finance Committee minutes in that report. Couple of additions onto finance for today's meeting. As we noted before, we have gone ahead and provided council with a draft budget for 2021, a draft appropriations budget. All of you have those in your packets. It's just, once again, just to sort of get everybody to look at it and kind of start thinking about it a little bit. Probably look to vote on that, vote on a what you call a temporary budget in December. But the process for that budget, the first 7 pages of the document you have shows all of our accounts within the village and the departments that they relate to. You'll notice one of the columns says YTD expenditures. Those are our year-to-date expenditures as of September 30. We took the year-to-date expenditures, divided by 9 to get an average monthly expenditure, then multiplied by 12 to get our estimated appropriations. Any non-payroll expenditures, we added 2%. And any payroll expenditures, we added between 6 and 10%, depending on whether they were first responders or other village employees. That way we should be able to support any increases that are voted on tonight, as well as any future increases that may occur in the following year. After the first 7 pages, we've gone ahead and broken those same accounts down into departmental reports. That way you can look at all the various accounts within the departments that they're related to. Once again, just a good way to kind of get everybody to kind of see our estimates and to kind of get everybody thinking about it. That way, if there are any questions about it, we can address them before December. As Ms. Fitzgerald noted, we did also reach out to Greater Cincinnati Water Works regarding the addition of maybe a $1 fee to be added to village water bills. I spoke with them last week. Once again, they said they could absolutely add the fee on that if council resolves to do that. They did inform me that more than likely the earliest they could get that implemented would be April of next year. Their IT department, they farm out their IT work, so it takes a little while to implement those things. Looking at the amount of active water accounts that the village has, that fee would probably bring in about $10,000 a year for the purpose of replacing and repairing fire hydrants, if that is something council chooses to do. Other than that, I believe that is all I had in addition to what was already reported. Last thing I would ask to do would be to approve the bank reconciliations, receipt listings, and payment listings that were also included in your packets.
Very well. All right. Thank you, Tim. And I like the looking through that packet, just excited to see that we've started the budget process. I've already made some scathing marks in this thing and we'll have some discussion, but just excited that we're in this process early this year. So excited about that. In addition to needing a motion for the approval of the bank reconciliation, receipt listing, and payment listing, I'm also going to need a motion to approve the mayor's court monthly statement as well.
Gary had his hand up, Mark O'Brien.
I'm sorry.
Gary had his hand up.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Jerry?
Fine, the mayor just mentioned it. We also need to do the mayor's court monthly statement as well.
Thanks. Sorry about that. All right. So with that being said, I need a motion for the approval of the bank reconciliation, receipt listing, and payment listing.
I'll make the motion to approve. Do we need to approve these separately or can we do? Okay.
I will.
Okay. Make a motion to approve.
They can be all together.
They can, thank you.
Reconciliation, receipt listing, and payment listing.
Along with the mayor's court monthly statement.
Along with the mayor's court monthly statement.
Thank you. Is that your motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second to the motion?
Second it.
A roll call to the motion.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Yes, aye.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kiana Trabue.
Aye.
All right, thanks. All right. All right, Tim, do you have anything else for the good?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
We caught it all in the finance committee report.
Yes, all right, no worries. Law director's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing really additional to report outside of what was covered in the previous reports. I just want to note that when we go through the legislation, I've removed the ordinance regarding the MOU with Great Parks. In addition, one of the items, I'm sorry. Okay. One of the items that we reviewed at Law Committee didn't make it into council packets, but it still needs to be approved tonight. And that would be a resolution to authorizing the purchase of turnout gear for the fire division. I think it just got missed in going into packets. So I'm going to add that when we cover the legislation to make sure that that gets approved, because those monies have to be spent before the next council meeting because they are CARES Act funds. But that's all I have.
Okay. Very well, thank you. Any questions for Law Director? Very well. Having none, I just got a couple things. Just to follow up on the concerns that was presented to us today from the resident over in Woodview. And looks like there was one item that I guess is a concern still, and that is the village manager's position. I am still in the work looking over that posting. I want to make sure that I have everything in there before I share with council, before we start publicizing that. But I do anticipating having that in some type of publication to out in the public wherever we decide to post by mid-November. So I'm still kind of on schedule, but off schedule, as I originally talked about October. But I'm looking to make that happen by mid-November. Trunk or treat, again, that is scheduled for Saturday. The Village of Woodlawn is not doing a door-to-door trick or treat for the safety of the residents, keeping them safe, a safe distance. So we do not encourage people going to residents' homes, regardless whether or not their door light is on. The village is not engaging in that activity. However, we are doing the trunk or treat down at the Woodlawn Recreation parking lot from 5 to 7. Our interim director has asked that if you are volunteering, that you do, in addition to the candy that's going to be provided by him, that we will bring what you have in addition to him providing additional candy for the kids. So I look forward to that. It's going to be a great event for the kids. It's been a really stretch for COVID-19, so I'm excited for that as well. As most of you know, we have been continuing to have the talks about the shooting range. Those talks are doing really great. I feel really good about those meetings we've had. I feel the best that I felt about this in a long time. I feel very optimistic that we are going to move it. It's going to be moved. It just have to get the logistics worked out. But I, again, will continue to keep council and the public abreast of what is going on over there. So that's kind of the couple things that I wanted to bring up. Anybody have any questions for me? Yes.
Not a question, but the earlier report Mr. Burkhardt gave, I was looking through the legislation here, and Dan Ferguson texted me as well. The MVAH legislation, I think it was in the minutes of the law committee that it was for 50% for 10 years. It's actually 50% for 15 years.
15.
I just wanted to clarify that.
It's 15 years though, correct?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did everybody hear that? Okay. Thanks, Jerry.
Can you repeat that, Jerry?
Did you catch that, Monica?
I'm asking to repeat that.
MVAH, the terms of the agreement was for 50% abatement for 15 years, even though the law committee report, the minutes stated 50% for 10 years. It's 50.
I'll correct it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Legislation.
Yes, Mayor. The first item is ordinance number 22, 2020, an ordinance establishing and affirming the salaries and compensation of all offices and positions in the Village of Woodlawn and declaring an emergency.
Very well. I need a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 22, 2020.
Make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 22, 2020.
A second.
Very well. Roll call on the suspension.
Sorry, I'll be getting rolling here. Okay, Gary Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kiana Tribune.
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 22, 2020.
Make a motion for passage of ordinance number 22, 2020.
Second it.
Very well. Roll call on the passage.
Gary Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue,
Aye.
Very well. I needed a motion to declare ordinance number 2020 an emergency.
Make
I
a
make a
mo-
motion to,
Wait, Pam.
I make a motion to declare ordinance number 2020 an emergency.
Second.
Very well. Roll call on the emergency.
Garrett Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. All right, I'm trying to keep them all together here. Got my hands filled. All right, next one, please.
Next one is ordinance 23, 2020. An ordinance amending ordinance numbers 01, 2005, 07, 2010, 06, 2018, and 04, 2019 regarding the amount that the Village of Woodlawn will pick up of the statutorily required contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for the employees of the Village of Woodlawn pursuant to IRC Section 414H2 and declaring an emergency.
Very well. I need a motion for suspension of the rules of ordinance 23, 2020.
Make a motion for suspension of rules of ordinance 23, 2020.
Second.
Roll call on the suspension.
Deanna Trabue,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Garrett Burkhalter,
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of ordinance 23, 2020.
Make a motion for passage of ordinance 23, 2020.
Second.
Roll call on the passage of ordinance 23, 2020.
who seconded that? I'm sorry.
Kiana,
Me.
Thank you. Okay, Deanna Trabue,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Garrett Burkhalter.
Aye.
very well. I need a motion declaring an emergency on ordinance 23, 2020.
Make a motion declaring ordinance 23, 2020 an emergency.
I'll second.
Roll call on the declaring an emergency.
Garrett Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson, Mr. Lawson? Take your mute off, Mr. Lawson.
Aye.
Can you leave your mute off, please?
Okay.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. Thank you. Next.
Next one's ordinance number 24, 2020. An ordinance amending chapter 882 of the Village of Woodlawn Code of Ordinances regarding the municipal income tax.
Can I ask a question? Is it time to
Yes.
answer it?
Yeah, yes, you may.
Okay, so what was the section that was deleted? What was
Section-
that? Can you
the
give us a
section-
little detail on that?
Sure. The section that was deleted would have allowed the tax administrator to waive the requirement that residents file an income tax return if they could establish that they paid 2% to another community. As you know, that's not our income tax rate at this point in time. And the general rule in Woodlawn, and there is another provision in the income tax code that provides that all residents must file a return. So this inconsistency was identified by Rita, and they recommended that it be removed so that
Okay.
we're consistent.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
No problem. All right, very well. So I need a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 24, 2020.
I make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 24, 2020.
A second.
Roll call on the suspension.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 24, 2020.
I'll make a motion for passage of ordinance number 24, 2020.
I second it.
Derek
Roll call.
Burkhalter,
Thank you.
sorry, Mayor.
That's all right.
Derek Burkhalter.
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have ordinance number 25, 2020, an ordinance amending appropriations for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
Very well. I need a motion for suspension of the rules of ordinance 25, 2020.
Make a motion for suspension of the rules for ordinance 25, 2020.
I second it.
Roll call on the suspension.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 25, 2020.
I make a motion
Motion.
for passage for ordinance number 25, 2020.
Second.
Roll call on the passage.
Deanna Trabue,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Derek Burkhalter.
Aye.
Very well.
The next one is ordinance number 26, 2020, an ordinance to advance up to $59,009 from the general fund to the Hamilton County COVID-19 Relief Fund.
I need a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 26, 2020.
Make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 26, 2020.
I'll second.
Roll call on the suspension.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 26, 2020.
Make
I make
a
a mo-
motion for passage of ordinance number 26, 2020.
I second it.
Roll call on the passage.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you.
The next one is ordinance number 27, 2020, an ordinance to advance up to $23,860 from the general fund to the firefighters COVID-19 Relief Fund.
I need a motion for suspension of the rules.
I'll make a motion for suspension of the rules on ordinance number 27, 2020.
I second it.
Roll call on the suspension.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 27, 2020.
I'll make a
heard
motion
someone.
for passage.
I second.
Ordinance number 27, 2020.
I second it.
Very well. The motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the passage.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well.
The next one's ordinance number 28, 2020, An ordinance to transfer up to $15,546.76 from the general fund to the food grant fund, drug law enforcement fund, and street and road levy fund.
Very well. I need a motion for suspension of the rules of ordinance number 28, 2020.
Make a motion for suspension of rules of ordinance 28, 2020.
Thank you.
Second.
A roll call on the suspension.
Eric Burkhalter,
Aye.
Lester Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald.
Aye.
Kenneth Trabue,
Aye.
Robert Lawson.
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 28, 2020.
Make a motion for passage of ordinance 28, 2020.
Roll call on the passage.
Need a second?
Wait a second.
Ms.
Second.
Brown, seconded.
Okay. Eric Burkhalter,
Aye.
Lester Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kenneth Trabue.
Aye.
Very well.
The next item is Resolution 27, 2020, a resolution authorizing the municipal manager to enter into a 2020 CARES Act local jurisdiction agreement with the Board of County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio.
I need a motion for suspension of the rules of resolution 27, 2020.
I'll make a motion for suspension of the rules on resolution number 27, 2020.
I second it.
Roll call on suspension, please.
Kenneth Trabue,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Lester Boyd,
Yes.
Eric Burkhalter.
Aye.
Very well. I need a motion for passage of resolution number 27, 2020.
Make a motion for passage of resolution 27, 2020.
Second
I'll
it.
second.
Roll call on the passage of resolution number 27, 2020.
Eric Burkhalter,
Aye.
Lester Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kenneth Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. Thank you.
Next one is Resolution 28, 2020, an amended and restated resolution with respect to the village's pickup of mandatory employee contributions for members of the Woodlawn Fire Department and the Woodlawn Police Department for the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund.
I need a motion for suspension of the rules on resolution number 28, 2020.
I make a motion for suspension of rules of resolution 28, 2020.
Second it.
Second.
Roll call on the suspension of resolution 28, 2020.
Eric Burkhalter, excuse me,
Aye.
Lester Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kenneth Trabue.
Aye.
I make a motion for passage of resolution 28, 2020.
Second.
Eric Burkhalter,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Lester Boyd,
Yes.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Kenneth Trabue.
Aye.
Very well.
Next is Resolution 30, 2020, a resolution consenting to the execution of an agreement between the Village of Woodlawn, Hamilton County, Ohio, and Wayne Lofts LLC, providing for the adoption of a project which will create a new multifamily building in the Village of Woodlawn within a community reinvestment area.
I'm sorry, Ms. Uppinger, I changed that to number 29 since we took MOU out.
Okay, that's
So it's
fine.
Resolution 29.
It'll be 29 then.
Make a motion for suspension of rules of resolution 29, 2020.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
I think we just got a motion. Did we get a second?
I second.
Yes, we did.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Can I get a motion for passage of Resolution 29, 2020, please?
Make a motion for passage of resolution 29, 2020.
Second it.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well.
And then there'll be one additional one, as I discussed in the law director's report. Resolution 30, 2020 will be a resolution authorizing the purchase of turnout gear for the Woodlawn Fire Division.
That's Resolution 30.
Correct.
Thank you.
So is that different from in our packet? I show, is it Wayne Loss? I have something different?
That's
We're
the one
talking-
we just passed. It was renumbered to 29 because the MOU with Great Parks was removed from the agenda. So the resolution approving the CRA agreement is 29, and
Okay.
30 will be the resolution approving the purchase of turnout gear.
Got it. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Make a motion
Yeah.
for suspension of rules for resolution 30, 2020.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Deanna Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. Was that passage or suspension?
That was suspension.
Thank you. Passage, please.
Make a motion for passage of resolution 30, 2020.
Thank you.
Second it.
Roll call.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Ms. Trabue.
Aye.
Very well. I do see Pete back there on the line. Pete, number 29, it looks like that resolution has been passed. I'm excited about this project. Just been excited since we had this initial discussion. So Pete, I'm excited that we're gonna see some new stuff up there on Wayne Avenue come this time next year, hopefully.
Yes, and thank you for your consideration on the tax abatement today. It's going to be a big help in making the financing come through. Hopefully, we are around 4 weeks away from closing if all goes well. One way or another, we'll be done sometime here in November, beginning of December, and hopefully you'll see some construction activities before we hit the new year. Anybody
Very well.
questions? Feel free.
I appreciate it. Anybody have any questions for Pete and his team? Again, Pete, we thank you so much for.
You got a hand up. I
I'm
think.
sorry.
Yeah.
I can't see him.
saw
Thank you,
my
T.
hand. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Pete, I think someone told me that completion of this project would tentatively be the end of 2021.
Yeah, it's probably a 12 to 14 month build. I would guess that they're probably budgeting 14 months. So if we get started in November, it could be before the end of the year, 21. It's going to be somewhere right at the edge of, end of 21, beginning of 22 that we'll have our first occupancy.
When would you be accepting applications?
Well, I can take
So many months before or?
Yeah, normally somewhere around 4 to 6 months in advance of opening. So I would guesstimate somewhere late summer 21 to fall of 21, we would start the true lease up where people could officially apply.
Okay.
In advance of that, though, we do create an interested parties list. So anyone who's interested can contact me and we will get them on the interested party list. And the interested party list, once we do begin lease up, the interested party list is the first people to be contacted.
Will you be emailing us to let us know when you're accepting that? I have several people who have, they've seen us discuss this and they have asked me about it. Pretty excited.
Absolutely.
Try to be
Yeah,
a
you
part of it.
can have, like I said, you can have anybody contact me now and we'll get them on the list. And we are creating an email address as well. And as soon as we have that created, which is probably any day now, if not already done, I'll share that with Jerry so that the village can have that email address to share with people, because that's ultimately the best way to get in touch with the property management people.
That would be great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
Pam,
you.
did you have a question? No?
Thank you, Pete.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Appreciate your considerations again.
Again, thanks, Pete.
Have a good one.
Did somebody else have a question? But I thought I did. Okay, no worries. All right.
Jerry's got his hand up. Jerry has his hand up.
Gary?
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor, I just wanted, Pete was online today. Perfect. Just in case there's any questions, I want to thank Dan also from HCDC for being here, just in case any questions came up as well.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks. All right.
Ms. Boyd has her hand up.
Jerry, would you?
I can see Miss Rosemary. If I can see.
Would you let me know when you're
Okay, I
ready
can
for
see.
this?
I can see.
Thank you, Rosemary. Would you let me, and Brian, would you let me know when you get that list? I have about 3 people actually that are interested, and they've been asking me, so.
Are you talking about the list for the
Apartments from Pete. He
Well,
said
for
he's
now-
gonna send Jerry the information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Mayor Jerry, feel free to share my email address with Councilwoman Boyd as you have a chance, and you can feel free to share that with interested parties for now. And then
Gotcha.
I will provide additional info. I just want to make sure they get on the list if they're.
Okay, thank you.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Very well. Anybody have any other questions out there? Is there any new business before this council?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
I just wanted to let everybody know that we had a death in our community of a very well-respected person in the community, and also throughout the valley. Mr. Virgil Thompson passed.
Correct.
Just want to send condolences to his family and let them know that they are in our prayers, and whatever we had decided as a village to do for our residents. I believe Mr. Thompson moved into the village in 1969. So he's been a resident of the village for almost 51 years. So whatever we do for our residents, I would ask the mayor and council to do the same. I believe the mayor was going to take care of that.
I am. Thank you, Mr. Burkhalter, for announcing that. That is so true. Mr. Thompson has been an integral part, his family here in the community. Again, as Mr. Burkhalter indicated, since the late 60s. So yes, I will be reaching out to them. Thank you so much for that. If there's no other business that comes before this council, I need a motion for an adjournment.
Go ahead and make a motion for adjournment.
Okay. Second on the motion.
A second.
Are there any all ayes to that?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. There are no no's on that one. I appreciate your time tonight. Everybody have a good evening, and hopefully we'll see each other on Saturday, 5 to 7.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you.
All right.
Get rid of this.